Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 21. This is round 3 for the elite drivers. And as you can see, we are at Deep Forest Raceway for the first race. And after 10 minutes of qualifying, Ginge in his Genesis has put it on pole. In second we have Scott, he's changed car to the Renault. In third place we have Stuffy in the Mazda. In fourth we have ADG in the Scirocco. So FF's doing quite well in the qualifying. In fifth we have the Crow in the Genesis. In sixth place we have a new driver to the division, which is Maya in the Genesis. In seventh place we have Jahinio in his Genesis. Still hasn't got his sponsors and charity on the car yet, so hopefully the detail people can get that one done for the next round. In eighth place we have Mark in his Genesis. In ninth we have Bazza in his BMW Jag. And in 10th place we have Golden Brownie in the Ferrari. So 10 drivers for this round. So let's get these guys underway for half an hour here at Deep Forest Raceway. 5 lights. And away we go. Looks like the FF struggle off the line there. Genesis trying to carve their way through up towards the rear end of Ginge. He obviously had no one to contend with. As we're coming down through to turn 1, Ginge there clearly out in front for the time being. Crow going around the outside of Scott there. On turn 1, everyone, did they get away cleanly? It looks like there's Golden Brownie. He's not got away cleanly at the moment. So Ginge followed by Crow and then Scott at the moment. Jahinio there in 4th place. Staffy fighting his way there with Maya for 5th place as they go side by side coming out of the infield section. Looks like Maya's going to get that position. And Mark there having a look up the inside of Staffy as we're coming onto the back straight now. Well, I know that Mazda is quick in a straight line. Bazza there in 9th place. He's looking to see if he can try and get past as we're coming up to the big braking zone. But Ginge there, looks like he's got a bit of a gap over Crow, so no moves coming as we're coming into the heavy braking zone here. ADG goes for the move here on Mark. Bazza side by side with Staffy. Oh, what's happened with Bazza? Saw Golden Brownie going in deep there, it looked like. Did Bazza get a slight tap from Staffy, or did he do it all by himself? Let's have a look at this one. Goes up the inside. Just gets on the power too much, does Bazza. That's going to give him front end damage. Coming out of the hairpin, Golden Brownie's been able to slip through. I know Golden Brownie went deep there, he's picked up damage as well. So them two not having a great first lap, but the rest of the field all nice and close at the moment as we start lap 2. Crow there trying to go around the outside of Ginge. I don't think it's going to work. Oh, Scott tried to have a little look up the inside of the Genesis, just can't get that one done. As we come into the infield section, these three have got a little bit of a gap over Jahinio there in 4th and Mayer there in 5th. Right behind him, followed by ADG, Staffy, and then Mark. So the top 8 all covered probably within about 4 or 5 seconds, if that, at the moment. So keeping it all nice and tight for these top guys. Oh, Jahinio's picked up a half-second penalty, but I don't think he'll have to serve it this time. Oh, yes he will. He will have to serve it. So it's on the exit, but we'll find out on coming onto the back straight if they're going to serve the penalty this lap or the next. So that's going to drop him behind Mayer, and maybe ADG when he serves it right now. Let's see if he drops from 5th down to 6th. Yeah, ADG's going on the offensive there, on the attack in towards the heavy braking zone here at the end of the lap, gets that move done. So ADG's moved, Jahinia's moved from 4th down to 6th place now. Promoted AGD and Mayer up, but Scott there goes side by side with the Crow as we're coming round across the start finish line, trying to get into Ginger's slipstream. And it looks like that Renault has got some speed to power on past the Crow. Is Scott going to try and make a move up towards P1? No, he just can't get it alongside Ginge, so Ginge lives to find another day at the moment at the front of the field. And so he's just starting to spread out a little bit. These front three clearly a little bit quicker than the rest, but Mayer's not too far behind. What was he, 2/10 last time round? He did have to take that Jahino kind of let him through with that penalty. ADG still got Jahino right behind him, and Staffy there got a little bit of a gap to mark in 8th place. Bazza there in 9th. He's got past Golden Brownie. Golden Brownie seems to be struggling here at Deep Forest, but Ginge there, he's got the fastest lap of the race currently. I'm sure that will come down when these guys maybe stop fighting, but they all seem to be fairly close. I think the long straights are really helping keep this field nice and close together. Scott there did he even look? No, he didn't. But yeah, everyone's, as I say, still fairly close. Mark and Staffy have just dropped off the back of the group a little bit. Top 6 have kind of all closed in on this lap. I'd say that Jahino, ADG and Mayer have just gone that little bit quicker for this time around. Scott there, he goes purple, and ADG's gone purple actually for this lap. Scott's gone up the inside of Ginge there. Is Ginge going to go for the old switcheroo? Looks like he's going to try as we're coming up the hill here for turn 2. They're going to be side by side coming into this infield section. That's going to allow everyone behind to close up to the rear end of it. Ginge does get that move as we're coming through the first section here. Scott not been able to keep that position, but he's going to try and get up the inside here of Ginge, but can't make it done. Mayer there goes side by side with Crow. Looked like he went on the inside and then round the outside of these two left-handers onto the back straight. Crow not giving this place up for 3rd. There's that little bit of love tap there on the exit. Mayer's now going to have to try and find a way past, but ADG, I think that was just a bit of not knowing where the car were. It looked like Mayer did get a little bit sideways there through the middle part of this back straight. But that's allowed Jahino he's going to go for the move up the inside of Mayer. There's a little bumping and barging between these drivers, all so close together. No one knows which way to go to try and get an overtake. But Mayer's dropped, he got past, or tried to get past Crow, and he's dropped out and or lost out and dropped back down to 6th place now. And at the front we've got Ginge and Scott going for it once again. Scott's going to go and try around the outside. Oh, who was that went flying off? I saw someone flying off. ADG. What happened to ADG there? Not close enough. Coming into turn 1, he gets, was it a love tap from Mayer behind? A bit of a lag spike there, it seems, between everyone. That's going to drop ADG down to 7th place now. That's kind of dropped him out of that front group. He was kind of mid-pack of it. He was doing well to keep there, but front and rear damage at the moment. He's now going to have to battle with Mark to maintain this 7th spot. Bazza in 9th, Golden in 10th, but at the front, that little incident's just broken up this front 6 now. You've got the front 4, and then you've got Mayer and Staffy fighting for 5th and 6th place. As we're coming onto this back straight, will Jahini be able to have a run on Staffy? Not Staffy, sorry, Crow in front of him. Looks like Scott's got the... Renault seems to be quick in a straight line. We'll have to put alongside Ginge now as we're coming up to the hairpin once again. Is he going to try and hang it round the outside? I think he's gone in too deep. That's allowed Crow to get up the inside of Scott there on the exit. And that's going to leave Scott on the outside for the last kink here. As we're coming up to start lap 6 already, absolutely flying along these guys. Ginge sat in the middle. Jahini is going to make this 3 wide by the looks of it. As we're coming into the braking zone. Not sure if that was Scott pulling in front of Jahini there. As we come into the braking zone, because Jahini is there on the inside. Little taps, I think it's where these guys are just driving so hard and aggressive. They don't want to lose any time at all. It's hard to know there who was at fault, but no one really lost out too much. I think Scott lost 1 place really. But plenty of time left of the race. Staffy's got past Mayer now as well. I think they've been on the last lap. There was 9 tenths between the two of them. ADG, he's still just ahead of Mark. Golden Brownie has decided to retire the car into the pits at the moment. So Crow, he's got past Ginge. How did Crow get past? Oh, Crow got past Ginge there. Sorry, I missed that one. With the impetus between Scott and Jahini. Crow took his opportunity and slipped past into first place now. So back to where we were, roughly anyway. Yeah, Crow, after 5 laps, he's worked his way to the front. Ginge has now slipped down to second. See what Ginge can do to see if he can retaliate back on his fellow Genesis driver. So Genesis not too good on the qualifying, but you've got 3 of them now on the podium. With 9 minutes gone of the race. Ginge there, he is on the inside. He's going to get this P1 back. Jahini there having a look up the inside of Ginge. It's made Ginge go very deep. Now they're 3 wide on the exit. Scott's going to try and make it 4, but it looks like Ginge has been able to get the power down as we're coming down this little hill towards the kink here. Crow can't get into Ginger's slipstream because Scott's there on the inside. So Scott's now on the opposite side of the track. Scott's going to try and make it 3 wide through the middle. Is Scott. Jahini there on the left. He's not going to be able to make that move, but he's going to try and stick it in behind Ginge. Make it 3 wide. A little tap there with Jahini and Scott. That's going to allow Crow to get back into 3rd place. And all this fighting's allowed Staffy and Mayer to close up to the rear of this group, because no one seems to want to be in 1st place at the moment. ADG and Mark there still battling for 7th and 8th, and Bazza, he's also decided to retire the car, so not too good for these 2 drivers. Not too sure if there's a mechanical issue with the cars, just didn't get the right setup on the car and just really struggling but on the pace. But Ginge there, he's still leading the way. He's had about half a lap in 2nd place so far. He's going to defend as much as he can coming into the hairpin. Jahini has put alongside him into the braking zone. Ginge gets it nicely stopped there on the apex, and that's allowed Crow to nip up the inside, but can't get the power down to get ahead of Jahini there for that 2nd spot. But is he going to try and make a late charge to the rear of Jahini's car? Crow, I don't think he's going to be able to coming into the braking zone, but Staffy works his way up to 4th. Scott's dropped down to 6th place, so I don't know if Scott had a penalty and it's just dropped him out of this top battle, but you can see ADG not too far behind, and Mark's not too far behind that, so this could be a 8-way battle in a second. Oh, we've got some cars going sideways. Let's just have a look to see who that was. Oh, it was Ginge. Ginge was doing so well, going side by side with Gino through here. Gino's little tap there. They're stuck together through this corner. Gino's gone in deep by the looks of it, and it's just sent Ginge and Gino into the wall on the left hand side. I would kind of put that on Gino's fault there for obviously running it in deep, but obviously close quarters contact and how aggressive everyone has been. It's hard to really point a finger at someone. But all that Staffy, he's worked his way up to first place. He was down in 5th, caught the guys up. They've all had an absolute tussle, and he's worked his way to first place with Mayer following through into 2nd place. Crow now in 3rd, Scott into 4th place. ADG, he's in 5th now. Mark is up to 6th. Ginge in 7th. Gehino's just served a penalty. Bazza and Golden, they've both come out of the pits. They're a couple laps down. They're lap 8, and these two lap 7 and lap 6. So maybe the teams have said, well, you're behind anyway, go out, have a good scrap for the remaining 18 minutes or so of the race. And just don't try and kill each other. But Crow there, he's gone for the move up the inside of Mayer into turn 1. He's made that one work. So we'll now be having to look in his mirrors as we're coming through the infield section. But obviously Crow kind of looking forward and backwards, with Mayer being so close behind. And who was that with the penalty? Scott's got a half-second penalty there in 4th place. Probably going to concede that place to ADG in a couple of seconds when he serves that penalty. Mark there 6th, Ginge and Gehino 7th and 8th. But the battle, oh, Staffy's got a half-second penalty. That's going to drop him to the back of these 3. Hopefully he can try and stay in the slipstream, because we know that Mazda's quick in a straight line, so I don't think he'll have too much. Oh no, he's not going to serve it this time. He's going to have to serve it the next lap, so he's going to have to defend for the whole lap. But Mayer's gone for the move up the inside of Staffy. They're 3 wide on the exit. They're all going to have to slip in behind the fast-paced Mazda as we're coming down towards the kink here once again to start lap 10. So we're looking probably about a 21 lap race for this one, because we're nearly halfway on to lap 10. But you can see, even with the slipstream, the Genesis just can't seem to catch up to the Mazda. That is the strong point for the Mazda, but yeah, it does struggle with it through the corners. Obviously being an FF tyre wear, doesn't seem to be too much of a difference between the Mazda and that Genesis. ADG, he got past Scott once Scott serves that penalty on the last lap. Mark there in 6th place, still kind of staying with these guys here in front of him. Ginge and Gehino probably trying to work together to try and catch up to the group in front. Bazza and Golden, they are fighting for, well, they're not really fighting for position because there's a lap between them, but looks like they're having a good old ding dong battle for 9th and 10th respectively. But Staffy, he's not serving his penalty. Crow and Mayer go through. I reckon Staffy might be able to put on a charge, especially if these two are going side by side through the hairpin. Crow's going for the old switcheroo once again, but he's going to be on the outside for this little right-hander, but he's got the power down. He's made that switcheroo work. He's kept that first place after Staffy served that penalty. But here comes Staffy as we're coming down the start-finish straight. Everyone's moving side to side, trying to pick a line. So yeah, Staffy served that penalty, and he hasn't really dropped off the back of them. He's lost a couple of positions, but we've only just halfway through the race. Anything can happen between these three guys. You know, even Scott and ADG behind can potentially get in on the action for a podium position. But, what are you talking? I've just missed Mayer. How did Mayer do that one? Just around the inside of Crow there, absolutely sent it through. Let's have a little look at that one from Mayer's perspective. From the hood of the car. He's alongside Crow here, up the hill, side by side. Crow goes out a little bit wide. That's just allowed Mayer to move up into first place now. So another change for the lead. I think that's about the 5th or 6th change we've had for the lead of this race. Well, especially for different drivers. But yeah, Mayer now in first, Crow second, Staffy in third place, ADG. Yeah, ADG's catching. They're doing mid 35s and ADG's doing a 34.9, so definitely catching. Scott's done 35.5, so about the same that time as the guys in front of us. ADG just slowly closing that gap. Up there in 6th, 36.2s. Eugenio, he's got past Ginge. They're in the 35, so they'll be catching up to the rear end of Mark fairly shortly. And Golden's still having a good old battle. Golden getting on the dirt there on the exit coming up onto the back straight. But they're doing, what are they, 36s, 37s, so yeah, anyway, they just clearly didn't have the Staffy. How has he done that? He's got himself up into first place, so he's just used the power of the Mazda to whip past Crow into the hairpin at the end of the back straight, and it looks like he's going to use the power once again of this Mazda just to slide on by Mayer. And Crow's going to use that slipstream of Staffy and get past Mayer as well. And you can see ADG, he's really coming in now to get in on the action. So is Scott behind, because what's the lap times? 35.5, 36.1, 36.1, 34.8 and a 34.9. So yeah, these guys are catching what, 1.5 seconds? Yeah, 1.5 seconds. Staffy's the only one there in 35s, but he still lost out about 6 or 7 tenths to ADG and Scott on the last lap. So they're all closing in on each other. Now they're battling away. ADG and Scott just put their heads down. Obviously they're teammates, so they know there's still a bit of time left of this race. Work together, don't fight, and you'll catch up to the guys in front. As we're coming onto this back straight, see if Staffy can hold on to this place with the 2 Genesis right behind him and the 2 FFs as well. But it looks like the Crow, he got good drive, but yeah, as soon as he pulls out the slipstream, the car just dies and the Mazda just stays there in front. But Crow going, oh, ADG gone for the send of the century in towards the hairpin. Looks like he's going to let everyone go back past, but that's dropped Staffy down to third place. Unfortunate there for Staffy. ADG's dropped to the back of this little group and out of the slipstream potentially by the looks of it. Mark there, he's been caught by Eugenio and Ginge for the 6th spot. And Bazza and Golden's got a little bit of a gap to Bazza now. That's right, Golden's technically got to catch up a whole lap to get that 9th place. So, yeah, still having a good old battle for them places. Was someone there with a penalty, or was that just, might have just been the banner behind it, looked like. It just flashed on through. But Mayer in first place at the moment, ahead of Crow. So Mayer started qualified, I think it was 3rd place, so it's been there. He did drop down at the beginning of the race, but he's making his way to the front now. Crow there second, Staffy third, Scott in fourth place, ABG in fifth. Eugenio, he has got past Mark, and Ginge and Mark are side by side as we're coming up to the hairpin here. So Mark's going to be able to defend this one, but is Ginge going to go for the old switcheroo? No, he's going to try and hang it round the outside, just gets a little tap on the curbing there on the exit. But it looks like Ginge has been able to get that power down a little bit earlier. He's going to be on the outside now for this left-hand kink. Coming up the hill, who's going to give them the slip? Or Eugenio, who's he going to give the slipstream to? Looks like he's kind of sat in the middle. These two still going side by side. As we're coming into turn one, it looks like Mark's going to be able to hold this one off. No, Ginge is going to hang it round the outside here. He's going to get this move done by the looks of it. So a cracking move there from Ginge. Probably could have gone in for, there's quite a few overtakes that could have gone for overtake of the week for this race. Bad and Golden, they've caught back up to each other. Crow and Mayer now going side by side, coming out of the infield section. Crow there, gone for the old switcheroo there, coming onto the back straight, just can't get it done. It's going to allow Mayer to be in first onto this back straight, but is that a good place to be in about 5 or 6 laps time, when it's the last lap? I don't know if you want to be in first or if you want to be in second, with the guys being so close, all 5 of them covered by probably a second or so on track. And coming into the hairpin, it's ADG, Scott and Staffy, all the FFs side by side on the exit. Who's going to have the drive? It looks like it's going to be Staffy at the moment, because he's in third. He's tucked up right behind the bumper of Mayer in front of him. This is absolute carnage, and I'm absolutely loving it. But it looks like Mayer's going to stay in first. No, Crow's gone up the inside of Mayer through turn one. Scott's there on the inside of Mayer as well as we're coming up the hill in towards the infield section. But it looks like Mayer's going to potentially keep that one in front of Scott. By the looks of it, Staffy's had to drop to fourth. He's picked up a half-second penalty here. Staffy, Scott's gone deep there. No, it was Staffy that went out deep. All the FFs look the same when they're going through a tunnel. It's hard to tell exactly, but these three having a little bit of a fight is allowing Mayer and Crow just to open up a fraction of a car length between them and Scott. Staffy's going to have to serve this penalty this time round. If these guys, what are they doing? They're doing 36s, 37s. Eugenio 35.5. Ginge 36.0. And Mark 37.2. So Eugenio is going quicker. Ginge is going a little bit quicker. Mark's doing about the same pace as the guys up front. So will Eugenio be able to get onto the rear end of this pack? I don't think he's going to, because what is the lap time? Oh, not with a 1 second penalty, he's not going to. That's going to drop him back into the clutches of Ginge. Yeah, he's about 4 or 5 seconds behind this group, so it'll be quite hard to catch up, especially with that 1 second penalty. But going this way and that as we're coming into towards turn one between Mayer, Scott and Crow. Scott slid up the inside of Mayer there. He's moved his way up to second spot. ADG's trying to work his way through. Obviously Staffy had that half second, has just dropped him to the rear of this 5 for the time being. But Crow looking in the mirror thinking this is what he wants them to do. He wants them to start fighting between Scott, Mayer, ADG and Staffy. Scott there gone in a little bit deep. By the looks of it, it's all a little bit bump and barging between these guys. Coming near the end of the race, we've got just over 5 minutes left, and who's that? Oh, that's Eugenio with his penalty. But yeah, all this bumping and barging has allowed Crow just to open up a about a second and a half, maybe 2 second gap over Scott in second place, just in the one lap that we've had with all the argy-bargy that has happened. But AGG is going to go for a move on his teammate now. Team orders out the window. Come the last 5 minutes of the race, he's gone for that move. Up to second spot has AGG. Is he now going to try and focus on pulling him back up to the rear end of Crow in front? They seem to be the quicker of the two mid-stage of the race when they were a couple of seconds off. What was that, lap 7 or 8 or so we had. It looks like Scott's there. He's gone for the move round the outside of ADG. I don't know if he's going to make that one work. But May there in fourth. Ooh, but gone out wide did Scott. Got on the power too early by the looks of it. Got lucky that he didn't pick up any damage, but he's picked up a half-second penalty for it. It's a bit unfair from PD themselves for that one, but rules are the rules, and he's going to have dirty tyres by the looks of it through this infield section. He's just losing all sorts of time, and he's now in fourth place, hounding by Staffy there. He's picked up another half-second. Scott, so just bad to worse. For lap 17 for Scott. Ginge there, he's got back past Juninho after Juninho had that 1 second penalty. 35-4. These guys in the face. You know what? It's going to be close if Juninho and Mark can get in on this battle. Scott there, he's pulled to the side. He served that penalty, and he's dropped back down to 8th place. Bazza and Golden, both of them. Oh no, it's just Bazza with a 1 second penalty right up the rear end of Golden Brownie as they come onto this back straight. Looks like these two have had a good old battle for the last 15 or so minutes. But Crow there out in front at the moment. It's got about a second and a half lead over ADG. In second spot, Staffy and Mayer having a side-by-side battle for third. We've got 2.5 minutes left of the race, so yeah, we'll get to lap 20 or will be 19. I don't know. We'll have to see when the timer runs out. But Staffy's picked up another half-second penalty. That's going to drop in behind Mayer. That's what Mayer's going to be wanting to see this late on in the race. Juninho there in fifth. He's got back past Ginge as well now. So he's on the charge to try and get potentially a fourth place, maybe a third. All it needs is Mayer to pick up a half-second penalty, and they'll be right in on the action for this one. Ginge there in sixth. Mark there, he's been able to keep with these guys once they got past him. Took him quite a few laps to get this car warmed up and ready to go, but he's been able to do so and to keep with him. Scott there, he seems to have an issue with that car. Hazards are on, just struggling it seems to get the power down and keep that pace. He's 12 seconds down this lap to his normal lap time. You can see there on the mini map top right, I was going to try and do a lap guide, but there's been action every lap from at least two drivers, so maybe have to wait for doing a lap guide around Deep Forest for another time. But yeah, on to the last lap now for the Crow. So 19 laps will be the race. But Crow and ADG have got a nice little gap now over Mayer and Staffy and Juninho now going side by side coming into the infield section. Juninho has been able to get past Staffy. Tyre wear has been pretty good for the FF of Staffy. We know from the first race he absolutely cooked his tyres at Nürburgring, and it's been able to look after him a little bit more now, has Staffy. Getting used to that car, getting used to driving the FFs. Ginge there in sixth place. He's going to have a look potentially to try and get past Staffy. His tyres are a lot better on the front than Staffy is. Yeah, everyone good. Everyone will finish in the right order. Final lap has now approached. And Simon's run out, but Gin's there in 6th. Don't like he's going to be able to get that move on Staffy, but Staffy's gone for the outside move here on Ginny. Staffy's been pushed out wide by Ginge. I think Ginge will probably let off and let Staffy back past, but will go to the front. ADG's caught up to the rear end of Crow, but Crow's just done enough to come across the line in 1st place. He'll win the race. ADG will finish in 2nd. Mayer in his maiden race in the GTTCC finishes in 3rd. Eugenio will finish in 4th. Staffy, wherever he is on screen, finishes on 5th place. There he is on the left hand side. Ginge will finish in 6th. Mark will finish in 7th place. Scott here, obviously issues with the car at the end of the race here. Not too sure what has happened to that one. But he'll finish in 8th. He'll be a lap ahead of Bazza. So nothing to worry about for Scott with this car issue that he has had the last 5 minutes of the race, but he'll finish in 8th place. Bazza and Golden will come across to finish in 9th and 10th. Bazza's gone for a spin early doors as we're coming across the line. Golden Brownie tried to do for a spin, but didn't work. But if you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, and until next time, bye bye.